welcome back to Beyond Film School, and this is the Amber Living Vlog, and I'm Amber, and today we're gonna talk about fitness, staying fit in the film industry. I feel like that might be a boring subject for some people, but it's kind of like, how do you have a life, stay fit, and be able to have the energy to get through like 12 to 15, 16-hour days. I just got done running. I am a runner. To preface this video, I tell you a little bit about my fitness level, I guess. I have celiac, so my diet is a little bit different. I am gluten-free. I'm really gluten-free. I'm not like your, oh my god, I'm gluten-free. To talk about my running, I don't know if anyone else out there is like a runner, but I am doing half marathons in the fall, and I just did like 15K this past April, and I'm increasing my distance, and I feel like because you're standing all day, you're building the strength in your legs, so you have the muscles to be a runner. So I feel like I have the foundation. If you're standing every day, your legs do get used to the pain. Your legs do get used to, you know, the pain in your feet and your legs, and you do recover faster. I remember when I first started on set, my legs would hurt so bad the day after. I just could not. But that was a symptom of my celiacs too, because I wasn't adhering to a gluten-free diet back then. Now I am, so I definitely see the difference because I had really bad inflammation. It was really like horrible. When I first started on sets, when I started as a set PA in New York, I feel like I gained weight only because when you get bored on set, you go to the crafty table, and that's like the #1 thing that will get you fat. Stay away from the crafty table. There'll be nothing but breaded chicken or pizza or pasta, and I can't eat any of those things. Or, you know, there's always like bagels, croissants, there's bread, it's always sandwiches. So it was pretty challenging for me to eat sometimes when I'm on set, and I always have to make it a known, you know, factor when people hire me as their first AD. It's like, hey, I just need to eat. Just get some vegetables, we're good. They're always feeding you if you're in the right spot. If you're close to set, they're always feeding you. If you're in holding or your background, or maybe if you're first team, you may not even be able to get the hot meals that they're serving on set. And sometimes that's okay, because sometimes you don't need to be eating every 3 hours. Also add, like, the reason why they're always feeding you is because the reason why there's always food on set and there's crafty there, and why it's like such a big deal that people are fed, is because when people don't have coffee, when they don't have water, and they don't have food, people are really cranky, and it makes for a really like bad situation. You know, people get hangry. Yeah, like people get really bad attitudes if they're you know, their caffeine withdrawal is kicking in, or they're hungry, or they're thirsty. So I mean, those are the 3 things. Make sure you have coffee on set, make sure you have food, and make sure you have water. Those 3 things will definitely affect like the attitude or the vibe of a whole crew. You know, some people who don't have my condition, they say like, what do you do to recover? And I say to them, make sure you stretch, and, you know, make sure you take, like, you know, sometimes you take an Advil before bed with lots of water, and drink like green tea and stuff like that, and just, you know, mind the carbs and the sugar, because the next day it really does feel like you're hungover, and you're not hungover. You've just been on set for 15, 16 hours. Do you feel like when I'm on set and I hit like 10, 11, 12 miles in the day just by walking, I feel like that does count as training, because I am on my feet, and that, you know, I've had like a crazy amount of miles in, so I feel like it counts. And plus, you are building the strength in your legs standing all day, so don't underestimate that. Some people I know do go running before they get on set, and I honestly don't know how they do that, because I wouldn't be able to run like 5 miles and then go on set for like, you know, 12, 13 hours as a first AD. I wouldn't be able to do it. Maybe as a PA, but not as a first AD. I don't think either or. Who am I kidding? I actually had a interview with a potential PA, and I you know, I told her that she could pick my brain, and then she wants to know, because she's very new to the business, and she asked me, she's like, what do you do to take away the pain of like the next day of like standing all day? And I told her, #1, you'll get used to it if you keep doing it. If you keep standing over and over for that amount of hours every day, your legs do get used to it. Like, that muscle memory does help. Another thing I told her was that you have to make sure you eat right. Like I said, you have to make sure you eat right, and then, you know, mind your sugars, and then you have to make sure that if you can grab a nap, if you can grab like any type of sleep, you have to get it. That is like key. And I know it's very, very hard to say that in the film industry, but sleep is like the number one thing that is going to help take the pain away. And I mean, like the last job I had, like I'm doing background, and where our call time is like 3 to 4 hours before the crew call, and that means our days are 3 to 4 hours, 5 hours longer than everyone else, because we're getting background ready and then we're wrapping them out, and there was about 200 backgrounds, so it was a pretty long day. And I, legit 3 days in a row had 3 hours of sleep, and I was like, oh my god, I don't even know how I was able to do it on the third day. I think there are a lot of people who see like older crew members, and it's kind of weird if you look at the body shape. Like, not many people are overweight, and that's because obviously we're like, running around all day. But then there are some who have they just have like the guts. And I think that's only because they feed you carbs for second meal. I think it's because they feed you, like, you get beer after you drink beer after like a set day is done, or it really does have to do with like carbs, and like they give you pizza all the time. Like, I'm just not a fan of pizza for a second meal, because I mean, I love pizza, and let me tell you, like, there's a really, really, really good gluten-free pizza at Uno's, and I love it. But I know I can't be eating pizza for friggin' ever. And I mean, there are some people who say that, gluten-free diet is good, and then a vegetarian diet, and then some people are vegan. I mean, people will say that they feel tremendously better, being vegan, and sometimes I'm not a vegan, because I do like eating pizza, and I'll like binge on pizza for like 3 days, and then not have any pizza for like a whole month or 2 months or something like that. But, there is something to be said for diets like that help your body feel better when you're putting your body through like such stress when you're on set. You have to think about that. You have to think about the amount of stress you're putting it under on set. So you just kind of need to feed it good stuff, like vegetables. Like, eat vegetables, people. and people will say fruit, but I'm a big advocate for vegetables, because I mean, fruit is fruit, it's sugar, but you need veggies. You need veggies. For this video, fitness and film, the number one thing is to get as much sleep as possible. I know that's like a dream. Basically, you're trying to get as much sleep as possible, and it's hard, but you have to get as much sleep as you can. Like, cat nap if you need to, where you can. Avoid crafty if you're not hungry. Don't carb up. Pay attention to what you're eating. Make sure you're eating vegetables. Drink lots of water. I didn't even mention water, but yeah, drink lots of water throughout the day, even if it's cold. And some people forget when it's cold outside to drink lots of water. That it has been the video on fitness and film, or staying healthy in the film industry. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please comment below. I am here for your, people email me about all kinds of things, like, movie posters and short films and stuff like that. I have a Facebook page. Please like my Facebook page. And, I feel like I've been slacking. I'm going to have another video about what I've been going through, like, a little bit mentally as of late. And, oh yeah, Beyond Film School, Instagram, have pictures up, what I've been doing. I have a few projects coming up, and I have not forgotten about the production training. I've just had to kind of figure out a lot of some web building form thing that I have to do for the application process of the production training program. So I know it is May 1st, and I said that May 11th would be the first class, which it could still be, I don't know, but there is an application process. So just know that if you are interested in the production training program that I have, it is limited to 10 people. I can only take on so many people, and it is like a full-on mentorship program. And what's going to happen is I will be having, an application process where you answer a few questions, you give me your resume, and you will sit down with me in person. So this isn't in person. This won't be an online course. I know there are some people who are like, you should do an online course, but I just don't want to do that at the time. I feel like I am building a team of PAs, and I want to get to know them, and I want to hire the people that I have gotten to know, and it's hard to get to know people online sometimes, so I feel like there is a value in knowing someone, face to face, getting to know them, interviewing them, and all that jazz. So I mean, you can sign up for just the course, and then there is a separate part where you can sign up for the whole mentorship. So it's kind of 2 parts, but you still have to apply the same way, because if you're going to kind of graduate from my training program, I wanted to have a good name and you representing me, and you know, you're representing yourself. Obviously, if you're gonna, you know, move on and you're gonna say, oh, I was trained by Beyond Film School, and it's like that, you know, I want you to be good. So that is it for today, and yeah, I will see you guys next time.